It's time to take off your clothes, enjoy clothes-free living, and join us for Naked, Nudist, and Naturists.
Welcome to Naked, Nudist, and Naturist, the show that celebrates clothes-free living for all. I'm your host, Frank Stone.
And I'm your correspondent, Lisa Monroe, and I'll be reporting on all things within the naturist community. So it's time to get naked and join us.
And enjoy clothes-free living on Naked, Nudists, and Naturists. Well, greetings and welcome in to Naked, Nudists, and Naturists, episode 162 today. Really glad that you are with us. We get together, it seems like every Wednesday now, because it has been every Wednesday since July 30th of 2025, the Lisa Frank Wednesday extravaganzas. And this is the 27th straight Wednesday on which we have gotten together with you. And if you take 162 minus 27, that's 135. We've done 135 straight Saturdays. Never missed a Saturday. And now 27 straight Wednesdays. Never missed a Wednesday. Although that wasn't the plan, as we've mentioned before. We thought we'd do most Wednesdays about a half an hour each. Well, we blew both out of the water. We've been here every Wednesday for you. The episodes have gone over well. You've enjoyed it. We enjoy putting them together for you. So here we are again, a Wednesday extravaganza, episode 162. So come on in. The water is feeling like $1,000,000 today. I did turn the heater on. It's a little chilly out there. The hot tub is at 104 degrees. If that's a little too hot, you can let us know. We'll turn it down a bit. But 104 seems to do the trick. You stay there for a while, then dive in the pool, and you will feel refreshed as brand new daisies. How about that for a Wednesday? The grill is going full bore. We have fruits and vegetables off to the right, cold drinks off to the left, hot drinks inside. And if you leave the screened-in area of the pool, you go out that left side door, you'll find a hammock. Need a break, need a rest, need a quick nap just to get away from it all. Use the hot tub too much, now you're really tired. Well, that's the place to go for a little bit and stretch out on the hammock, tied between two trees behind the pool. We have 3 putting greens. You want to practice your putting? That's the place to go. How about some bocce ball? You want to play that? That's off in the right corner behind the pool area. And if you come back inside the screened-in area, we have our cigar bar in the back left corner. Help yourself. And as you know, we always carry extra towels, extra suntan lotion, extra chairs. So if you brought nothing at all, and again, you're just driving up and down the street, on your way from point A to point B, and you see all the cars here, and you say, oh, shoot, that's right. It's a Wednesday extravaganza time. I think I'll stop in, but darn it, I don't have anything. It doesn't matter. Just come on in. You are invited. You are already here, actually, to enjoy clothes-free living for all of the right reasons for the next hour or so. Just really glad you're with us. We enjoy this time together. And we are really glad that you are here for episode 162. On today's show, we will have some listener letters that Lisa and I will discuss. She'll be here momentarily. We'll talk a little bit about the difference between the terms naked and nude. Do you differentiate between those terms? Do you use naked at certain times and nude at other times? Some people do, some people do not. But we have a listener who wrote in about that. And so Lisa and I will read his letter and discuss it a little bit. We also have a letter from a gentleman who is going to weigh in on the whole locker room thing, banning nudity from locker rooms. Can you imagine it? Even saying those words in that sequence out loud, I feel silly. No nudity in locker rooms. It doesn't make any sense at all. It's like taking a shower with your clothes on. You can't be naked for a shower, please. Makes no sense, but we've discussed that before. We've read that article a few months ago, and so we have a listener who is weighing in on that today as well. And then we have a letter from a home nudist in Scottsdale, Arizona. Fairly lengthy email. We'll get to that. He addresses different points, some about Lisa, some about me, some about social nudity, and some other items as well. So we have quite a show put together for you, and I know that you'll enjoy it, the different information coming from our listeners. as well as hopefully from Lisa and myself as well. And as Lisa is walking through the door right now, we will get to her segment in just a moment. Well, on Wednesdays, her segment is the show. It's not a segment, it's the show. She got a kick out of that. Laughing over there. We can't hear you. Your mic is not on yet, but all right. Be with you in a moment. But we are glad that you are here. And although we have not mentioned this for some time, we would ask that you, as they call in the business, like, review, subscribe to this show. And it's very easy to do wherever you're listening right now. Or you're listening on Spotify or YouTube or Apple Podcasts or somewhere else. There are buttons available. You just click. It'll say subscribe. You click the subscribe button. It will say like, probably a thumbs up. You just click that. That's it. Half a second each time. You get 2 clicks. You're good to go. And then a review. You can rate us 1 through 5. 5 being the highest. Just thought I'd point that out. And if you have a few words of wisdom to say about the show, you can include those as well. And what that does is it bumps up the numbers a little bit in the podcasting world, the overall worldwide podcasting world. And as people look for naked, nudist, and naturist things to do, the more you like, review, subscribe, the more they are likely to find this show. And then they can start enjoying clothes for a living for all of the right reasons as well. So again, like, subscribe, review, takes you just a few seconds. It's free, and we appreciate you very much. Well, again, you are listening to Naked Nudists and Naturists, episode 162 today. And I don't know about you, but over the last moment or so, I have heard some music under my voice. Let me stop speaking and see if we can hear the music together. Oh, yes, I hear it. I know that you can hear it too. That can only mean one thing. It's time for the great, the terrific, the completely over-the-top, fully clothes-free, and fully smiling, our naturism correspondent, Lisa Monroe. And here she is, the one and only, the one of a kind, the completely clothes-free and fully smiling, our naturism correspondent, Lisa Monroe. See, you blew it, but I'll say it anyway. Good morning, Lisa. How are you today? I was doing so well until I looked at you.
I'm sorry.
Hold on. Before you say hello and your usual, I'm doing fine, Frank. How are you? Before you do that, let me tell the listeners what your favorite Lisa Monroe just did. As I was doing this Hollywood, Las Vegas, Broadway show introduction, she's over there making faces at me and kind of smiling like she's a starlet, like Marilyn Monroe and that whatever. And it threw me off base. See, I haven't looked at you during your intro for many months. I thought, surely she's matured by now, won't be doing that. So I made the mistake of looking at you. I lost it. And here we are. So Lisa Monroe, how are you today? You proud of yourself?
Yeah, I am quite proud of myself. I keep waiting that you were just going to get away from your very stoic entrance because not look at me. So I got you.
You did.
I love it. I got you.
But you do know what that means. That means when you least expect it, something will be coming your way.
Yes.
It won't be right now because now you're expecting it. I'll catch you off guard one of these days, maybe today.
Yes.
Maybe a month
I have
from now.
no doubt that will happen.
Maybe the year 2036. I'll pick my moment, and then you'll say, "Oh, he got me back for episode 162." I know what he did.
Yeah, it's exactly what it will be. He will hold a grudge, No. Now,
let's not start those kind of rumors here. Anyway,
I'm teasing.
How are you doing? Let's get to business here. You doing okay?
Yes, I am. As again I said, I'm absolutely fabulous, but it is warmer now, so it's getting better. But I'm great. How about you?
Yeah, not bad. It was 24 that one morning last week, and it was cold all week. Cold to me is, I hate to say it because people in colder climates will say, "Oh, geez, poor Frank, it's 50 degrees and he's freezing." Yeah, to me, 50 is freezing. Now, when I lived in a northern climate, 50 was like a day at the beach in the middle of winter. But this week it's definitely warmer. It's inching toward the 70s. So that's also a great way to catch a cold, isn't it? 24 to 70, back to 24, back to
That's
70.
kind of an old wives' tale
Yeah.
that that you do that. So you get a cold if you get exposed to the virus. That's the only reason.
Mhm.
If your immune system was compromised or something, maybe, but nah.
Well, that's what I
But
mean. It's when you go out, let's say
yeah,
it's 24 degrees and you don't have a coat on, you kind of lower your resistance, right?
a bit, but that's still a
Okay.
bit of an old wives' tale.
Okay. What does old wives' tale mean?
That some old wife somewhere in the 1800s said, "This is how it is." And so
Oh,
everybody believed that until that happened. And
okay.
we found out that science was smarter than old wives sometimes.
So there were
Sometimes.
no younger wives or middle-aged wives. They were all older.
Well, apparently, I guess,
Okay.
that I don't ask me to explain
Okay.
the English lexicon. I have no idea.
That's okay. And you can always say you don't know. Kind of like when somebody asked me, "What does naked as a jaybird mean?" I
Yeah.
didn't know. I
Yeah.
had to look it up. And but if you're pretty sure that's what it is, just a bunch of older married ladies got together and said, "This is the way of the world," and that's the end of the story.
That's the best I got. Don't
Okay.
have anything better. Maybe somebody else knows what it is.
Were they naturist old ladies, or we don't know that?
We don't know that, but
Oh,
you could
well,
only hope they would
yeah.
be.
We'll have to do some research on this
Yes.
after the show.
Yes.
All right. Well, I wanted to kick off today with a program. We mentioned George Oberly is the chairperson for the marketing committee of the American Association for Nude Recreation. That's a volunteer position. I wonder how many volunteers AANR has. It's a whole bunch. It's got to be in the hundreds, right?
I
Easily.
would hope so. I mean,
Yeah.
I think anyone who's, a naturist should be a volunteer for AANR because we're promoting naturism and that's what they do, but I
Yeah.
don't really know their exact number.
George takes the lead. He's the leader of the brigade, and he came up with that Naturist Choice Awards. We talked about that a couple of times already. And you can go online, AANR.com, click on Naturist Choice Award, and you can vote for all kinds of things there. And that closes on February 15th. You don't have to be a member of ANR to vote. For today, we want to talk about the Ambassadors Program. And Lisa, we've talked about this off air. This is also something George began through the marketing committee.
Mm-hmm.
And it says on the website for AANR.com, become an AANR ambassador, share the freedom of naturism. Are you passionate about naturism and ready to help others discover its joy? And so on and so forth. And they're looking for people to be ambassadors for the American Association for Nude Recreation. And Lisa, a bit down the page, it says, what types of outreach efforts do the ambassadors do? If you don't mind, can you read that?
AANR ambassadors engage in at least 3 outreach interactions each month. These may include speaking with prospective members or first time visitors at your club, representing AANR at festivals, community fairs, or regional events, writing short articles or social media posts about naturism, holding informal Q&A sessions or meet and greet gatherings, sharing verified AANR material with the public, and each outreach effort can be logged in through their Ambassador Outreach Log program.
All right. And they do have tools and training for success. You're not on your own here. They'll tell you what to do, they'll teach you what to do. You'll have an ambassador handbook, and you'll have ambassador resources. And again, the American Association for Nude Recreation looking for ambassadors, volunteers to go out there and talk to people to beef up the membership. And who can apply to be an ambassador? Well, we invite all AANR members in good standing for at least 3 years to apply. Your enthusiasm, reliability, and commitment to positive representation are what make this program thrive. And Lisa, the next topic, what is in it for ambassadors? We have 2 things, so go right ahead.
First, you get to help people understand how embracing naturism and nude recreation has enhanced your life and provided connection to a vibrant and welcoming community of friendly people. Second, with a year's service as an AANR ambassador, you will receive the following year's AANR membership free.
Ooh, now
Not a
there
bad
is
deal.
one heck of a deal, yeah.
Very much so.
So you are volunteering, but at the same time, this is a volunteer position with a bit of a payoff. You have to do it for a year. You have to be successful in your year, and that's 3 outreach. What do they call it? Missions per month, and
Per
they
month,
gave
yes.
different examples. And then at the end of that year, you'll get a free membership to AANR for the next year. So you don't get the membership now; you get it after 1 year of serving as an ambassador. So if you go to the website AANR.com. It's right on the homepage. About 5 boxes there toward the top. We are one of them, the official podcast, the American Association for Nude Recreation. Naturist Choice Awards is there as well. And this one, the Ambassadors Program, just click on it, and it's right there. And toward the bottom of the page, there's a link you can click if you'd like to become an ambassador, or at least be considered to be one. So we invite you to check that out. And thanks to George Oberle for coming up with this program. And hopefully it'll be wildly successful and will increase the membership. How about that, Lisa Monroe?
That sounds wonderful. And, this is a way for all members or to actually start to participate with this organization. And, instead of sitting back and waiting for them to do something for us, we can do something for the entire group. So, it's a good thing.
Yep, there you go. All right. Well, we have a letter today. The gentleman who wants to be known as Scottsdale Home Nudist. He asked that we not use his birth name, so we are honoring that, of course. And if you don't mind, I would love to read that first paragraph. You okay with that?
You go right ahead.
All right.
And I know why.
You got that. Hello, Frank and Lisa. But he does have a qualifier. I'm giving Frank top billing only because he spends a greater portion of the show actually speaking on the show. Lisa, you're equally greatly appreciated. And without your presence, the show might be informative, but certainly nowhere near as much fun. How about that?
Okay, well, I like him a lot.
Yeah,
that's very kind. But that's actually very kind of him to say.
Yeah, he's also suggesting that the show might not be as much fun if I did it alone. So I'm not sure if I like Mr. Scottsdale anymore.
Oh, I think he knows you could do this alone, but, it wouldn't be as much, fun. And we wouldn't be able to get Frank every now and then.
That's true. It would have been nothing like the opening today if I did it alone. People would think I'm losing my marbles there. Anyway, that's the first paragraph. I'll read the second one, then I'll have you take over. As implied, by his name, Scottsdale Home Nudist, as implied, I'm a home nudist. I'm naked at home, quotation marks, 25/8. See, people are capturing our expression, 25/8. I like that. I'm naked at home 25/8, or at least would be if my wife didn't insist on having the shades up when possible. There we go with the wives again. The shades are going up, honey. Get your clothes on. I'm just kidding. I'm just joshing around here. We could go in different directions. Let's not. Let's continue on.
Yeah.
As an introvert, I wouldn't be the one to visit a naturist resort simply because I'm not into that degree of socializing, clothed or unclothed. But if public nudity were ever legalized and normalized, I'd relish the opportunity to walk out for my mail or even take long bike rides fully naked. There is nothing like the feeling of air and breeze, and then capital letters with an exclamation point, all over. Lisa, take it from there.
I enjoyed your recent shows on locker room nudity. I attended a private high school in the late 70s. There was no pool, no swimming class, but the locker room was an open floor plan with open plan showers. Showers were available but not required. Some guys used them, but more did not. Many of those who did not did the towel dance. As for me, I did use the showers, but only occasionally, and always with some degree of trepidation, because at that age, nudity outside the privacy of my own room still felt at least somewhat naughty and taboo to me, at least from the beginning, although that did diminish somewhat as time went on.
Okay. Anyway, what prompted me to finally write after 2.5 years of enjoying your shows and beginning was finding this article expressing the opposite point of view, which I assure you I personally do not hold. This guy is apparently the anti-naturist, as you will see, and I'm sure you will find it a definite potential topic of discussion on a future show. And Scottsdale Home Nudist, you might very well be correct. We'll take a look at it now, Lisa, and if you want to explore this down the road a little more, we can. At the same time, I don't want to give this other guy a whole lot of publicity for his anti-nudity stance in health club locker rooms, but we'll see. And should I mention his name? Maybe not today.
No, you haven't mentioned it, so maybe we'll hold that for later. And
yeah, we don't want to give him too much publicity for being negative, but then again, maybe we should and have our listeners pour it on. Hey, what are you doing writing articles like this? But we don't want to do that. Not yet.
Yeah, not yet.
Against Nudity in Health Club Locker Rooms is the title of his article. And I don't want to read the whole thing here right now, just a couple of paragraphs. To be clear, when I talk about locker room nudity, I'm not referring to a momentary towel drop followed by a quick, discreet raising of the underpants. I'm talking about jaybirds. Hey, that's our word. I'm talking about jaybirds
Ooh.
swaggering out of the shower and strutting around proudly, unhurriedly, carrying on in depth conversations, accomplishing a variety of tasks, shaving, brushing teeth, rummaging through their locker, reorganizing their locker, all while stark naked, arms and legs splayed, like so many Vitruvian men. To which I say, and your point is what, sir? But we'll move on for now.
Oh, what's wrong with that? I don't see a problem.
That's normal locker room behavior to me. Always was. Do you want to read the next paragraph if you don't mind?
Yeah, I will attempt it because the first lines, I will try to keep the disdain out of my voice. Consider the following. If a man strips down in front of me in the health club lobby, I have a right to be repelled and indignant, and I can be sure that the police will soon be on their way. But society has ratified that if the same man strips down in front of me in the locker room 100 feet away, I'm the weird one for disliking it. Well, you just said that. I find this a little strange. The reader might respond, well, public decency norms exist to protect children and members of the opposite sex. You're an adult male, so you don't have a right to be bothered.
Oh, there you go. And we'll stop there on this article because I find myself getting a little ticked off, and I can tell you are too. It's just, what the heck? What in the heck is he trying to do here? I have a right to be repelled and indignant if somebody takes their clothes off in front of me.
Yeah, and you know he was talking about in a public area. Well,
Yeah.
You still don't have a right to be repelled and indignant because most naturists would never do that to begin with, and so.
Right.
To me, this reads as someone who has such insecurity about himself that he just can't stand anyone else feels good about who they are and what they look like.
Yeah, yeah. So we'll leave him alone for now, but we appreciate Scottsdale Home News for passing that article along, and maybe we'll get back to it on another show. But that guy is fully against locker room nudity. Hello, that's where you shower and change clothes. You have to be nude to do that. But we'll move on for now. He goes on in his letter to us. Another matter, a while back, you started collecting speculations as to your appearances. As many others have expressed, I'd certainly love to see you someday post just headshots so that I'd have accurate faces to put with your voices. I've actually tried to Google both of you for face images, unfortunately without success. I have you both pictured in my imagination, of course. I'm also sure that the real headshots would very likely not come close to matching the way I have pictured you. But that's okay, because that's happened to me with other speakers or other shows. And after the shock of seeing the reality, I easily just go right back to imagining my original imaginary appearances when listening to future shows. There's even a show I listen to hosted by a man whose voice sounds to me like a woman's. And even though I know he's a man, when I listen to the show, I still envision a woman's face behind it. And then in parentheses, don't worry, I picture Frank as a man and Lisa as a woman. Well, thank goodness for that.
Yes, I'm very glad about that. He's got that right. Okay.
Yes. I've been called a lot of names in my life, but woman is not one of them. Not that that's a bad term, but if you're a man, maybe it is. But we'll move on for now.
Yes, move on from that.
Next paragraph is fairly lengthy. Or have you had a sip of coffee? Are you ready to go? Can you tackle it?
I can do it. I've had some coffee.
All right.
If you're curious as to more details how I picture you, well, Frank, I'll just have to describe my imagined picture in words. I picture a thin but healthy man, aged late 40s, noticeably taller than average, but not remarkably so.
Hang on a second. Hang on. We need a moment of silence because we've just encountered my favorite listener of all time. Thin but healthy man, aged late 40s.
Yeah.
Mr. Scottsdale, you are my new favorite listener of all time. Probably cannot be replaced ever, but I digress. Go back to what you were saying.
Okay. So with me, yeah, we won't tackle that comment. Anyway, with medium brown style hair, with perhaps some degree of early graying,
okay,
but I believe.
Hang on. I'm sorry. Mr. Scottsdale, you just lost your place as my favorite listener of all time. Late 40s, thin but healthy, but graying hair. Well, now we have a problem. Sorry to digress and keep interrupting you, Lisa, but I get stoked. But go ahead, continue.
Yes, I mean, you know, Well, we won't say Frank's vein. No, I didn't say that, did I? I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Um, okay, with some degree of graying, but I believe some things I've heard on the show that you're actually older than that, perhaps in your mid to late 60s.
All right, that's it. Good night, Mr.
As for
Scottsdale. Thank.
Lisa,
No, we're done. Mr. Scottsdale is done. I went from healthy and age 40s. Now I'm in my, what do you say, mid to late 60s and graying hair. Mr.
yeah,
Scottsdale,
yes.
you are through. We're going to ban you. No, I'm just kidding. We just,
No,
I think
he
everybody
knows
knows
that.
we have fun. Yeah, we have fun around
Yes.
here. But now
Yes.
it gets to you. So this is going to be
Yes.
good.
Okay. Well, we'll see how he did here.
We'll see how old you are. Yeah.
As for Lisa, my middle picture of you is as a blonde in your early 50s.
Ooh. Okay. Now hang on. See, he just gained some points. He had me in the late 40s, you in your early 50s. He has you pictured as older than I am. Therefore, he goes higher up on my list.
Well, he did say that from some things he had heard, he suspected you might be in your mid to late 60s. Let's not forget that. So that makes you much older than me.
I'm just going from the beginning here. Now,
Uh-huh.
he
Yeah.
addresses that with you too, but his first inclination, I'm late 40s, you're early 50s. I'm the young dude on the block here. So, Mr. Scottsdale, just one way up in my book, but continue on. But before you do, Lisa, get her composure here. We want to remind you we are the official podcast for the American Association for Nude Recreation. Are you a member? If so, that is great. But if not, you could become one right now. Just go to AANR.com, follow the navigation through membership, and within moments, you will become a member of the American Association for Nude Recreation. How about that? And we also want to remind you, you are listening to Naked Nudists and Naturists, episode 162 today. Another Wednesday extravaganza. Frank, Lisa, Frank. Really glad that you were with us to enjoy clothes-free living for all of the right reasons. I think that Lisa is kind of sort of gained her composure here. Lisa Monroe, please go ahead and continue on.
Though I believe I've heard you say you're not blonde, and I've also heard some things on the show that lead me to believe that you also may be well into your 60s, but not beyond mid 60s.
Okay, well, any comment before you move on? Or
he's the right to speculate whether he's right or wrong.
Okay.
The reason for my mental image of you is that your voice sounds exactly like that of a former work colleague of mine. So I picture that former colleague in my mind when I hear you. I hope you really liked her. Anyway, I'm not going to send you a picture of that colleague, but there's a movie scene featuring a character who looks like a younger version of and always reminds me of that colleague. So in turn, fairly resembles my mental picture of you. That character, and you can do some Google searching, is the blonde woman who runs the tanning salon in Christmas with the Cranks. That's how I envision Lisa.
Okay. Now, I can't remember that actress's name, but I did look her up, and I sent you the picture. You and
Yes,
I
you
here when I
did.
looked it up. And any comments as to are you anywhere close to that woman's picture?
Not really, but she was attractive, so I appreciate that's what he thought. But no, I have dark hair and no, not totally looking like that.
Okay. Can I vouch for the fact that you're attractive, or would that be one of those over the top male chauvinistic kind of comments? Should
Oh,
stay
I
away
never
from that?
minded that. No, go right ahead. And the listeners can believe you or not believe you. So there you go.
Okay. Yeah, well, okay. I probably shouldn't say anything because it could be misinterpreted. But yeah, Lisa's pretty good looking. Is that okay? I didn't get in trouble, right?
Yeah, you didn't get in trouble. Not with
Okay.
me.
All right. He goes on. Anyway, thanks again for producing a great show. Your content, entertainment value, and reliability are impeccable. And you are now by far the number one naturist podcast I have found. You have even surpassed, and he mentions a show which we won't mention here. Best wishes for continued success and longevity. I love your show so much that I actually saved the Wednesday shows until Saturday so that I can binge play them back to back during long weekend runs or bike rides. Now, if I could only do those activities naked, keep up the good work. Well, that's one heck of a letter, isn't it?
It sure is. And we had fun with it. I hope he understands that was all we were doing was having fun.
Yeah.
It's really, to me, it's really terrific that that people take the time to think about these kind of things, and they get engaged with the show, and so they get engaged with us, and it's pretty terrific. And the chick from the Cranks was kind of cute, so I'm okay with that.
All right. Well, let me go ahead and just so if the listeners want to look it up, let me go ahead and give that actress's name.
Okay.
And her name is Arden Mirren.
Mm-hmm.
And I think most people would agree, reasonably attractive young lady, a full head of blonde hair.
Yes.
You don't have blonde hair, so
No.
but she's attractive. You're attractive. Is that a safe way out of this for me?
That's a safe way for you out of this, definitely. And she is an attractive woman, so I appreciate the fact that he thought of me that way. Continue.
All right. Well, Scottsdale home nudist, we appreciate your letter very much. And yeah, we're just having fun with the age thing and the hair thing and how we look and all that good stuff. But your points are well taken, and we really appreciate your highly complimentary last paragraph. Content, entertainment value, reliability are impeccable. And his number one naturist podcast. We appreciate that very much.
Definitely do. And the one other comment I want to make is because we stress a lot of here, or I do anyway, that home nudism is a good thing, that people can enjoy it just as much as, if they go out to social clubs. And Scottsdale Nudist, he's articulating that very well, and that's what he's comfortable with, and that's what he enjoys, and he doesn't need that extra step, but some people do, and when you do, it's fun. But just remember, you can be whatever you want to be.
Yeah. All right. Well, we have a letter from Richard Hahn. Richard has written in before, and he's the one who sent us that picture of himself with all kinds of naked nudist and naturist gear, including a hat on his head, which we were thankful for.
He looked cute.
Yeah, and he's talking about episode 146. And I think that was that when we did the locker room stuff. I think it was one of the
I
two
believe
that we
so.
Did. And
I
he talked
lose
about
track, but I think.
And he talked about different movements might have caused a lot of this hidden nudity, and afraid of getting ogled by somebody in the locker room now.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, but he also says, I also believe it has to do with the Child Protection Act. This act says you have to protect children from anything that will harm them mentally or physically, and nudity is in that category. I didn't know that. Did you know that?
I did not. And it doesn't surprise me that it was singled out to be part of that, but that's an unfortunate thing, because then that sets kids up to think it's bad from the very beginning.
Well, yeah, that's basically the whole point. Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And to protect them from anything that will harm them mentally or physically. I mean, how in the world do you do that? Physically, I understand. You make sure they don't run out in the street and get hit by a car, but mentally, you don't know how a kid's going to react to seeing Mickey Mouse in a movie. Like, oh no, now I'm scarred for life because I'm afraid mice are going to come in my bedroom. It could get silly pretty quickly. But back when I was in school, teachers could discipline kids as needed. You could even spank a child. That's true. Prior to the 1980s something or late 70s, when they had some landmark decision, corporal punishment was allowed. You get out of line, or even if I just don't like the look of your face today, get in the hall and you get a whack on the rear end. Well, the Child Protection Act has changed all this, and nudity in locker rooms is also in this act. Okay, so I didn't know that.
No, I didn't either. Well, wait. Well, so wait, I'm confused. So kids can't get naked in locker rooms when they're changing? I mean, the last time I looked, junior high and high school was, under 18 would fit this.
Unless he means public locker rooms, like at a health club where people of all ages
Perhaps.
are. I don't know. And
I don't either.
I don't want to get too far out there and act like we know what we're talking about. We don't. We're merely reading the letter. But he goes on to say, in some respect, parents are helicopter parents trying to protect them from anything that could potentially harm them. And they go way too far with this. Too many parents feel that nudity can harm a child both mentally and physically. Therefore, clothes just need to be on. Sad, sad, sad. Feel free to use my name and anyone about this if it helps. Richard Hahn. I didn't know there was a Child Protection Act that prevented nudity. We'll have to check on that, but that's from Richard Hahn. And obviously, he's very upset. He grew up in a locker room where nudity was normal, and now it's not allowed. So he's a little ticked off. Can't blame him, right?
No, you can't. And, we look back and if when we, grew up where we're able to be naked in the locker rooms without any conflict. And I don't think any of us grew up with some sort of warped personality because of it. I think we grew up as natural people, and it wasn't a problem. So I know just it's back to tell somebody they can't do something and then they want to do it, and then they do it, but they want to do it for the wrong reasons.
Mhm. All right, we have one final letter. This is from Thomas, and I don't know if I have permission to use his last name. He's written in before, and a
Mm-hmm.
very big supporter of naturism. Does a lot of volunteer work for AANR as well. Frank and Lisa. So immediately I like him. Put me first.
Yes.
So always got to give him points there. In considering the terms nude versus naked, I've always thought of them as nude being clothes free by choice, whereas naked is being clothes free not by choice. And so he looked this up on AI, which we know is true.
Of
Internet,
course,
Google,
and
AI.
AI would never lie.
No, whatever you find there, we take it to the bank. And the quote is, while both terms refer to being unclothed, they carry distinct connotations regarding intent and vulnerability. And then he talks about the key differences in intent. Do you want to read those two?
Okay. Naked, which has an Anglo-Saxon origin, often implies a state of being vulnerable, exposed, or unprotected. It suggests a lack of clothing where it would be typically be expected, often carrying a sense of embarrassment or rawness. It is also used metaphorically for non-human objects such as the naked truth or a naked blade. Nude, which is Latin Norman French origin, generally implies a purposeful, artistic, or formal state of undress. It focuses on the body as a balanced and idealized form rather than a huddled and defenseless one. It is standard term for art, photography, and official contexts like a nude beach.
Okay. And I think if we ask 100 people about the difference between naked and nude, you get 100 different answers. And that's something I noticed before we started the show in the months leading up to it, going on social media, trying to get a lay of the land, like, okay, what's out there when we dive in. There were multiple arguments on this. Actual naturists, nudist people shooting at each other. Oh, no, naked is the term. Oh, you're a fool. Nude is the term. Oh, you're an idiot. Naked. I thought, what are we doing here, folks? Clothes free. That's why we adopted the expression clothes free living for all the right reasons.
Mm-hmm.
So we don't get into naked or nude as the term here. Honestly, I don't know the difference, but my point is, I'm not sure if the difference matters overall. It does to some people, and that's okay. We're not saying it's wrong to differentiate. If one thing means one thing and one thing means the other, totally fine. Any comments on that or anything, Lisa?
Well, one thing I think we called this show Naked, Nudist, and Naturist for a
Mm-hmm.
reason
Mm-hmm.
because it is, to us it's all interchangeable. I don't particularly see, if I said, what would it matter if I said Frank, you're naked, or if I said Frank, you're nude? You're naked, nude, whatever. You're not clothed. I mean, that's so it's to me, it doesn't make any difference. I think it is a matter of semantics. And I think that, some people like to take words like this and, you pull them into something that they can use as a tool or a weapon. And I think that's what a lot of people have done with naked because, oh my God, he's naked. How could he be? That kind of attitude. And it's just ridiculous. It comes back to how these words are used when there are things like these child protection acts and so forth. If they use the word nude in there, then nude would be the bad word. If they use the word naked, naked would be the bad word. So I think it's all much about nothing.
It seems today, if you're an actress in Hollywood, you're going to have to get your clothes off at some point.
Mm-hmm.
A scene here or there, maybe early in your career before you're not really a known entity. And so when you get to know an actress through her work, you can look her up on the interwebs and you can find naked pictures of just about every actress out there.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there was a time when that wasn't true. And then all of a sudden you'd hear so and so posed nude in
Mm-hmm.
Playboy or Penthouse or whatever magazines existed back then. They never said she posed naked, they said she posed nude.
Mm-hmm.
And so to me, growing up, that would have a different connotation. Like there's something special. She's not naked, she's nude. That means it's even better, more beautiful, more whatever the word is, in all the right ways. So that's how I took it growing up. But at the same time, it really, we didn't walk around in locker rooms saying, "Oh, Bill, I see you're nude over there in the corner." We'd use the term naked. We didn't say clothes free either. We said, "Oh, yeah, you're naked over there. Get your clothes on so we can go home." Not,
Right.
hey, you're nude, get your clothes on so we can get home. We just didn't use that word.
Mhm.
I see them as interchangeable only because it defeats any grounds for an argument, because we could have those all day. There are people who believe naked is one thing, nude is the other, and don't you ever cross the two of them. Kind of
Mhm.
like nudists and naturists. People have
Mhm.
definite opinions there. And while we might have opinions here, we don't share them simply because we just want to be clothes free for all the right reasons to reduce the stress in our life, and arguing over terms adds to the stress. I guess that's where I'm coming from. Any thoughts from you?
I think I'm right there with you because the fact is if we start to nitpick these kind of differences, then we're losing sight of the fact that there are no differences. And the thing that we as naturists try to project is that, hey, guess what? We're naturists. We like to be clothes free. That doesn't make us any different from anybody else. And so it's natural and normal. So I think we're just if we get ourselves bogged down in these kind of little things, these kind of discussions, then we are defeating the purpose of why we're actually here.
Yeah, but again, at the same time, if somebody does want to differentiate between those two, we're fine with that too, aren't we? You just say what you want,
Absolutely.
yeah, believe how you want, and that's totally fine. But you're right. That is why we came up with the title for the
Hmm.
show: Naked, Nudists, and Naturists. So we defeated both arguments. We have naked and nudists,
Hmm.
naked, nude, taken care of, and nudists and naturists taken care of. We encompass all, but we don't use those terms when discussing it. We say clothes free living, which just sounds so much more pleasant and doesn't leave room for arguing. It's just, oh, yeah, that's why we're here. We're taking our clothes off and having a good day.
You
Makes
know that
sense? Yeah.
that makes total sense because that's it. I don't. We do. It's clothes free. We're either clothed or we're clothes free, and that's probably the best way to do it. And it takes away a lot of the connotations that come with all these other titled words that people use. So
Yeah.
I'm good with that.
Yeah. You can go back and forth. Like if you, back in the day, like in high school and college, girls would walk by the boys' locker room, and you knew darn well what they were doing. They're trying to see a glimpse. And later you'd say, oh, I saw Jimmy naked going to his locker. Okay, whatever, big giggles. They talk about it. I never heard anybody say, I saw Jimmy nude in the locker room. So maybe you're
Yeah.
right. It says something about your clothes are off under naked, in terms of a sense of embarrassment or a
Mhm.
lack of clothing where you would normally have clothing on. Is that kind of it?
I guess that's where it comes from, and also I think that especially with kids in school, that connotation of nude as a artistic state of undress is probably not unless they've had an art class, and more than likely they've had art class, they didn't get to see the nudes that are part of art.
Yeah.
So it may not be a word that they even associate with it because it's not something that they hear.
Yeah.
Maybe the naked is the base word that people learn, and so I don't know. I just think we as a society get bogged down in too many labels, too many things that mean the same, but we split them in half and make one good and one bad, and maybe that's just human nature. I don't know, but I don't think there's any difference.
Yeah, no, I agree. So we do thank Thomas for sending this in. And again, at the beginning of his letter, he said, in considering the terms nude versus naked, I've always thought of them as nude being clothes free by choice, whereas naked is being clothes free not by choice. He could very well be correct. We have no argument with that, right?
No, and I think it comes down to what each individual thinks and is comfortable with saying. And so if that's the differentiation that they want to make, then that's good. I mean, there's
Yeah,
the fact is as long as you're comfortable being a naturist, it doesn't matter. These terms don't matter, and why you're clothes free doesn't matter.
yeah.
You're just clothes free.
And I've actually spoken to Thomas before, through a Zoom connection. We connected, I don't know, a year or two ago,
Mm-hmm.
and a very intelligent guy. I mean, he's a very deep thinker, and Anna was fortunate to have him. He volunteers for one of the pieces of Anna and does a great job. So,
Mm-hmm.
Thomas, thank you very much for your letter. We
Yeah.
appreciate it
Very
very
thought
much.
provoking kind of situation here, and I think it's be interesting to see what other people think.
Yeah. All right. I'm almost afraid to end the show because you might find a way to start making me laugh again. And I'm trying to avoid that now. I will not be looking at you during your intro for the next 150 years. That was a mistake today. I thought surely she's not going to try anything. And there you were.
Oh, you poor thing. It's just
So,
so sad seeing you just lose it on air. I love it.
now, the question is I have not looked at you during your intro for I don't know how many shows, a whole bunch. Have you been doing something on every show hoping I'd look over?
I'll never tell.
Well, you can now because the cat's out of the
No,
bag.
no, I won't tell because you might think that was just a one-off thing that I just happened to think about, and I won't ever do it again. And I might or might not. You never know.
So I just used an expression, cat's out of the bag. Another expression, nobody really knows what it means. At least I don't. But go back to the one you used earlier, old wives' tale. That's
Old wives' tales, yes.
Do you know for sure that's where it came from? A bunch of older
No,
married ladies sitting around?
that was total speculation on my part. I've heard that term, but I have a sneaking suspicion you're about to enlighten me, aren't you?
Well, I am, because as you were talking, I looked up the cat's out of the bag. Now we can look up old wives' tale as well if you want to. But the cat's out of the bag, and again, this is AI, so we know that it's 100% true. We can take this to the bank as well.
How would AI ever lie to us?
Never. It just can't be done. At least that's what they have told us.
Okay.
Anyway, the cat's out of the bag is an idiom meaning a secret that's been revealed, often accidentally, making it impossible to hide the information any longer, like a surprise party being spoiled or a hidden fact becoming known. Ooh. So that's what that means.
Oh, my.
Yeah.
I guess so.
So as more and more of Lisa's secrets are revealed on the show, we can say, oops, cat's out of the bag. How about that?
I guess so. And I'll try to keep my secrets to myself.
Well, I'd be the one revealing them, not you. That's a given. So
yes, well, okay.
All right. Now, while I was talking, did you look up old wives' tale?
I certainly did.
Okay.
An old wives' tale and this is AI again, so just take it with a grain of salt.
Well, it's true. Okay.
An old wives' tale is a traditional superstitious belief or piece of advice passed down through generations, often unproven and incorrect, dealing with folklore, health, or domestic matters, using wives in its oldest sense, meaning women. Okay. Examples include like cracking knuckles that cause arthritis, swallowing gum stays in your stomach for years, and eating carrots improves eyesight.
So basically, we don't know what the heck it means. So let's just have our clothes off all the time and enjoy life and forget all this other nonsense. How's that sound?
I think that's an excellent idea and fabulous advice. And you didn't get that from AI.
No, definitely not. And you're not an old wife, and neither am I. Let's point that out.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. All right. We're going to get together again this Saturday, part 2 of my interview with Renee Bellamy, the cartoonist artist, naturism from Vancouver. And Lisa Monroe, if you promise to be clothes-free until Saturday and show up clothes-free as well, we'll see you then. How's that for an offer?
I will do so. I'll be glad to, and everybody do the same. Let's just have a whole clothes-free week for everyone.
All right. Sounds good.
Bye.
The very terrific Lisa Monroe as she goes sashaying out of the studio here today. I'm beginning to think she's not a well person either. We already know that I'm not, but some of the things she said today and that look at the beginning of her segment, I don't usually lose it during an actual live show. Remember, I did live radio for a number of years, and you can't afford to lose it when you're doing live radio. Well, I lost it today, which means I owe Lisa Monroe, so stay tuned. You never know when that's going to come. Could come Saturday, could be next week, could be next month, could be next year. But when she least expects it, boom, right between the eyes, and we will be even, and then, I guess she'll get me back after that. We'll just keep on going. But Lisa Monroe does a whole bunch around here, as you know, because we talk about it a lot. Does all of our website work, does all of our meme work, does all of our merchandise work. And speaking of website, we are looking to rather substantially upgrade our website. And if you have any suggestions, let us know. Some website creators. Are you a website creator? Let us know. We are looking to substantially upgrade our website presence. What we have is okay, but it's only okay, and it doesn't really fit the quality of the show, and we know that. So we're looking to upgrade it substantially. So if you know anybody who does that, or if you do it, let us know. You can write to us at nakedforevermore@gmail.com. And we also want to hear from you on any topic in the world you can write in on. Obviously, it's a naturism show, so the focus is that. But if you have a question about something else, you can ask that as well. And the email address, again, I just gave it, but nakedforevermore@gmail.com. You can also write to us on our Spotify page, our Patreon page, our YouTube page. Lots of ways to find us. You can also access us through our website as well. And we want to hear from you early and often. What's on your mind? What do you like? What do you not like? What do you want to know more of? All that good stuff. Just let us know. We are here to help you and engage in this whole clothes-free living for all of the right reasons. Way to go through life. It is the best. There is no question about it. Nobody will ever convince us otherwise. When the clothes come off, everything else comes off too. The stress, the hiding behind your clothes, which adds stress as well. And you just know that because you live the life as well. Whether you live it totally alone and nobody else knows about it, that's okay. You're only a home nudist, as our friend from Scottsdale is, totally fine. You love being naked as a jaybird and getting out there at the naked beach every day of the week, that's fine too, or anything in between. Just having your clothes off, period, wherever you are, whoever you're with, and if you're with nobody, that's fine too. But having your clothes off for all of the right reasons, there is no greater physical joy in life that you can enjoy 24/7 or 25/8, as we like to say around here. Well, we do thank you very much for listening today, episode 162 of Naked Nudists and Naturists. And we also want to be sure that you come back this Saturday for episode 163, dropping at 6 a.m. Eastern Time on Spotify, as we always do. And our special guest will be Renee Bellamy, part 2 of my interview with Renee Bellamy. He is the naturism cartoonist/artist from Vancouver, does amazing work. His illustrations are phenomenal. He has 120 and probably more than that by now. And you can find him. Everything is in the show notes, or will be on Saturday, and was for last week on 161. But please join us this Saturday for episode 163 of Naked Nudists and Naturists. How about that? Well, you've been listening to Naked Nudists and Naturists, episode 162 today. We give you a brand new show every Saturday morning, 6 o'clock a.m. Eastern Time, and on most Wednesdays, 12 noon Eastern Time. Continue to join us. Check us out on our website, nakednudistandnaturist.com, Spotify, Google, Amazon/Audible, Apple Podcasts, and also on Twitter. You can write us anywhere, anytime, any place. And we thank you for being with us today. Plan to join us for every single one of our shows here, and have your clothes off when you're listening. We have our clothes off when we're broadcasting, enjoying the naturist life.
We celebrate clothes-free living for all. Remember to enjoy being naked and join us again for Naked Nudists and Naturists.
We drop a brand new show every Saturday morning, so come back and join us. Have your clothes off when you do for Naked Nudists and Naturists. Have a great clothes-free day.